we created a whole new backend for you. This is a template we made to make it very easy for you to get started. Literally in just one prompt, we had a leaderboard added. Hello, this is going to be just a quick guide on how to add multiplayer features and add leaderboards to your games. It's a pretty quick guide, but I wanted to just go through it in a video as well to make it easier to follow in case you just don't want to read it, or if you want to read it and have the video to help out. But okay, so to start off, I'm going to go through this video by following the guide. So I'm just going to do a step in the guide and then go to the actual Rosebud site and actually like do the step to show what you're doing. But essentially, this guide will show you how to easily make a multiplayer game on Rosebud or add multiplayer features to your existing games. The steps are different depending on whether you are adding multiplayer to an existing game or you are starting from scratch. It's easier if you're starting from scratch, but the steps to add multiplayer with the existing game aren't like crazy difficult, and it's covered in this guide. So if you are starting off from scratch, we strongly recommend using this starting template here. So that's what it says in the guide here. When you open it up, you'll see a login screen like this. So click a color, Sharphawk. I like that name. I could type in another name if I want. I like Sharphawk. I join, and you can see it's just like a voxel style multiplayer world. And if I joined this on a separate tab, which I will do right now, and then Bold Shark 625, so I'll beat that. Join with Bold Shark. Here I'll be purple. You'll see that Sharphawk's over there. It's synced. If I place blocks, you can see on the screen, yeah, it is synced. So this is a template we made to make it very easy for you to get started. If you want to do any kind of 3D open world style environment kind of thing, or even like anything, basically any kind of 3D multiplayer, this is a great start because it has everything kind of ready to go. And really, the only step after this, and I'll go back to the guide now. Just like I said, I'm gonna actually show the guide. Yep. So you can see now, okay. Then once you've tested out the templates, you can also try out the chat as well. I didn't show that just now. There's a chat. If you click T, you can type in the chat, which also works, just like everything else I just showed. If you now click the button on the bottom right or scroll down, you'll see a remix button, which I will do right now. If I hit remix, I'll get my own fresh copy of this template. Now, what just happened is that, and I explain it here, but essentially what just happened is that we created a copy of this product for you, but there's one crucial thing that happened. We created a whole new backend for you in that if you look over here, there's a file called InstantDB config. Now, again, the guy goes over this in more detail, but I'll summarize it here. Your game, you have a game here. That's this gameplay with the character walking around, you can place blocks, you have trees, everything. But this is just what's happening on your device. You want to make a multiplayer game. So when you're making a multiplayer game, some things need to be synced between everybody playing, right? Let's say this block. When I place a block here, yeah, I placed it on my screen, but other people need to also see on their screen that this block was placed here. So anything that is needed to be seen by everybody goes on the back end. You can think of the back end as basically the parts of the code that are the same for everyone. Whereas the front end is things that are only the same for me. Like for example, when I look around like this, you can see that I am seeing this exact camera angle. I'm the only one seeing through my own eyes. Other players see through their own eyes, so that's all front end. But the back end is where things like, oh, a block was placed here, block needs to be placed on everybody's game. Or I moved over here, so on everybody's screen, I'm moving here. So you don't have to understand the nuances or the difference between back end and front end, but that's just a summary of what's going on. So now I'm going to go back here. So if you go now look, the guide talks about two files which are very important for multiplayer. In your code, if you click this button up here to take you to the code tab is the code of your game. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see InstantDB config and InstantDB. We use Instant for multiplayer, and it works really well. You don't have to understand what Instant is, but Instant is like a cool kind of way of you being able to add multiplayer features to any kind of project you're making. They take care of so much, so you don't have to worry about any of the complexity. It's really cool multiplayer stuff. But anyway, at the bottom, you'll see InstantDB config and InstantDB MD. InstantDB config includes an ID. I know I just showed this ID to everybody, so I'm gonna change it after this recording. That's fine. But in the config file, you'll see InstantDB app ID equals something. This is your unique ID. If you remix the game the way I just showed, you'll get a fresh copy of this. This actually was a freshly created one made when I clicked remix. So the actual original project that I had open before has a different one ID than this, which you have not seen yet. Yeah. So the reason why we do this is that so when you make your own copy of the project, like I just did, we don't have a conflict where like multiple games have overlapping. Like, you know, let's say in the original version of the game, I was online. If somebody then remixes that game and makes their own copy, I shouldn't be in that game too. I should only be in the original game because both games should have different servers. Yeah, anybody who's playing multiplayer games knows what I'm talking about, where different games have different servers, right? You won't just have everybody in the same server, right? So when you make your own fresh project, you get your own new server, which is this ID. You don't even have to understand that either, but essentially, don't worry about people from different games appearing in your game because you have a whole different backend than them. Okay, so now an instant dbmd. This is a very important file that Rosie, the AI on Rosebud, this is how she knows how to actually do anything multiplayer at all. This basically teaches her how to add multiplayer stuff to her game. You don't have to read this, but you can if you're curious. But that's about it now. You are pretty much ready to go. You can now go to the chat here and enter any prompt you want for multiplayer. You can say add a leaderboard, add like a bunch of weapons, anything you want, and just ask Rosie to add it, and then she will be able to add it. But there's one key thing I want to go over. If you look here in the done section, you see at the end here, in my example, I said, "Oh, hi Rosie, please add a leaderboard to this game." Yeah, and I explained the details of what I wanted, and at the end I said, "Please read InstantDBMD for reference." That's this file. It's very important that Rosie reads this file because this is the only way she can know about multiplayer stuff. And sometimes Rosie may think that she has enough information to add multiplayer without looking at this file. So you have to make sure you tell her, oh, make sure you look at into the BMD, and then she'll look at it and be like, oh yeah, okay, now I know what to do. So that's all. You can now just enter. You can even completely like change this game. You can overhaul this entire game, make it into something else. But now you have multiplayer ready to go. So you can just ask Rosie to, okay, now add XYZ multiplayer feature, read InstantDB MD, and you're good to go. Very simple. Now, if you're trying to add multiplayer to an existing game, it's a bit more complicated, which I will show, and that's probably most of those watching this video or who are reading the guide want to do. So I'll go through those steps as well. It's still not crazy complicated, but it is a bit more complicated. So what you need to do is step one is open up your game. So let me go open up. I'm going to go to Rosebud homepage. Okay, so now actually I changed my mind, or yeah, I'm going to create a game from scratch right now, just to like have a fresh game so you can see how like the game didn't have multiplayer to begin with, make it more clear. So I'm going to go down here. You don't have to do this because you're going to have your own game for this step. But I'm going to say okay, switch to raster model, make a reaction testing game. I'll say make a neon stylish reaction testing game, 2D game. Let's say desktop, right? So now Rosie's gonna make that game. Okay, I'll skip this part. But when Rosie's done creating this game, I'm then going to go and show how I would follow the steps to add multiplayer to it as an existing game. All right, okay, so we have our game now. It's Neon React, pretty cool. I'm gonna just show the game right now. So pretty much it's a reaction testing game. So wait for Cyan, I wait. So yep, so 270 milliseconds, great. So now I want to make this multiplayer in that like there's a leaderboard and maybe a chat in this. So what I'm gonna do is now let's follow the steps. It's very important we do this right. Okay. So step two, great, because the step one was just to actually open up the game. Now I had to make the game, so technically that's like step 1.5, but that's okay. Now step two is create the actual these two files here, instantdb config.js. Make that. Head back to the game. Now go back to the code tab up here. Then over here, you'll see add file. Hit that. There's some tools here to manually modify files. InstantDB config.js. Good, I have that. Then go back to the guide. InstantDB create that too. And there we go. Can I have those two files, like the guide says? Now the guide tells me I have to copy some text into each file. So okay, we have this. Here's that ID again that we looked at earlier. Copy. Yeah, the guide's on Notion, so you have easy buttons to copy. Copy. Go back here. Paste it here. Make sure you paste in the right file. Make sure you hit save history checkpoint so you can save. Go back here. Now I need to. Oh my bad. Sorry, I skipped ahead. We got to copy this one. This one's a bigger one, so make sure you copy the right way. Copy with the copy button. Yeah, it's a pretty big file. Go to InstantDB, paste, save history. You can see it's like more than 1,000 lines because there's a lot of info in here. All right. If I wanted to get Rosie to add a multiplayer chat, all I have to do is say, or let's say leaderboard from the start. Please add a multiplayer leaderboard to this. Players should enter their nickname after playing. Yeah. Read instant db.md for reference. And that for reference is again for Rosie, because that file includes all the information on how to actually add multiplayer. So if Rosie doesn't look at that file, she may not know what to do. So there you go. I would recommend for multiplayer stuff, try and use Gemini Agent or Cloud Agent instead of just Gemini Agent Fast, but you can use anything you want, any of these three. I'm going to use Cloud Agent for this one. And enter, and then yeah, I'll skip this part, but then yeah, I'll show you it working after she's done. All right, okay, so we have our game. Before I even test the game out, there's one very important step we need to do. This is a crucial step. And if I go back to the guide, all right, okay, here at the guide, I can now see over here, step 3, get a unique ID. This is very crucial. So if I had to summarize it here, what you need to do is you need to go back actually and do what I specified over here back in part 1. But the reason why is not for you to actually use the template for anything. You're not going to use the template for anything. You're just going to remix the template so you can get an ID. That's all you need from it. So I'm going to go down here. You see, I'm going to hit this template, click the template here. I'm going to immediately go down here and remix it. But again, I'm not using it for anything. In fact, you probably should mark this template for deletion. Just call it delete or something so you remember to delete it because you're not going to use it for anything. Go to, all you're doing is just taking the ID from it. So I'm going to go down here to click the code tab. Go down here to InstantDB config. See, now you have this ID. This ID here is a fresh backend ready to go to be used for a multiplayer game. But you don't want it to be used for this project. You want it to be used for your new project or for your existing project. So just copy it. You can just delete it from here because this is now gone from here. Make sure you delete this later. Then I'm going to go back to my game. Go to the code. This is my actual game. Go to the code tab, InstantDB config, and it'll look like it will say your app ID here because you don't have an ID for this one yet. Paste it here because you've basically just taken the ID from the other project and put it here. Save that, make sure you hit save, and now the game should work. So I'm going to play a game now. Neon React. This is a reaction game, so it's testing how quick your reflexes are. So you click start, wait for cyan. So it says 260 milliseconds. So now I hit enter. My nickname is Jay. Hit submit. Success. Now leaderboard says J. Now if I then publish this game for other people to play, let me go back to the screen. Hit publish. Now this game is anybody can play it, but I'm going to copy this and go to a different tab, and I'm going to play this now. Here, wait for cyan. Average. So this was slower. I'm going to say my nickname is Bob. Submit. And now you see Bob's on the leaderboard with average, and he's lower. So now anybody who plays this game now is going to be able to play and they'll appear on this leaderboard. See, just literally in just one prompt, we had a leaderboard added simply because we just brought the multiplayer files over, pasted in what we need to paste from the guide, and now we're ready to go. You could ask for anything. You could ask for a chat. You could ask for anything. Make the game be co-op. This game, of course, it won't make sense for this game. But for if let's say you had a game that was like a top-down like RPG. You now make it be like a multiplayer top-down RPG. Yep. And sometimes the more complex the multiplayer feature, the more prompts it will take to get it to work properly. But the good thing is that Rosie will help out a lot and take care of a ton of it because you don't have to set up all this multiplayer like infrastructure and everything on your own. Simply thanks to Instant and thanks to the way we set it up on Rosebud, you just have to just follow the guide, paste some files into the code tab, and you're ready to go. So that's pretty much it. Please join our Discord if you have any questions, but that's all you have to do to have multiplayer in your game or add a leaderboard or anything like that. Thank you.